Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we're back with another Total War Warhammer video. Today we'll be continuing our mod highlight series and we've got a rather exciting one. When I get told about a Skaven mod, I jump right on it, and this one is a Clan Ferrik faction overhaul. Clan Ferrik is a minor Skaven clan, however they are actually fairly rich. Having raided the forges of Karak-Van, Clan Ferrik are one of the largest suppliers of iron and steel to the Under Empire, leading for them to have a rather lucrative claw pact treaty with Clan Skryre. This mod pays tribute to that, where the Skaven themselves are radically changed. Rather than focusing on warpstone weaponry, your army is mostly comprised of heavily armored troops and gunpowder weaponry. Think of this as playing as the Golden Order, but without having to play as Balthazar Gelt. Faction overhaul mods such as these are incredibly fun to play. The modders that dedicate themselves to mods like these make sure that the faction they are working on turns into a true sub-faction. But let's not waste any more time and check out what this mod actually does. For the purpose of this video, as usual, I'll be starting off a fresh new campaign in easy mode and easy battles. A fresh new campaign will take you to Sufbar. From the start, you'll have control of the provincial capital, and you'll have a decent enough army to take over the next city. Also, bear in mind that you are surrounded by a variety of different enemies. Vampire counts, dwarfs and greenskins mainly, with the Imperials not very far away. There aren't many Skaven clans near you, so you might find yourself alone for the most of it. Going onto the building menu, you'll notice there are a few new buildings implemented for the Skaven, focusing around Clan Ferrik. There are also new landmarks which introduce new units and so on. We'll be going over all the different new units in due course in the video. Of course, if you want to focus around the non-Clan Ferrik specific units, you can without any problem. However, there are a bunch of new units implemented which will allow you to enjoy a new type of playstyle which is radically different to most type of Skaven. Some basic units such as clan rats are still there, but they've been changed to give a more visual approach to Clan Ferrik rather than a generic clan rat look. The custom legendary lord for this faction is Forge Master Ironskull, a character that you will be using very often in your battles, seeing as he has a -3 wound recovery rate. Stat-wise, he's actually fairly decent. A high armor value, great leadership, and every other stat seems to be on the average to high average ratio. What makes this lord so unique is the fact that he also has a different amount of weapons that he can use. This is done as its mount option, where he can be paired with a hand weapon and shield, dual swords, or if you don't want to use any, his generic is also a halberd. In terms of unique skills, the character is focused around buffing up its own army and increasing its financial gain. Just for a few examples, you are able to give your Storm Vermin Vanguard, which can be potentially devastating, all whilst also having a 35% bonus to raiding. Increased faction-wide tax rate is also very beneficial, with the last of his unique skill tree providing a 10% ward save bonus. It might not seem like much, but when it pairs with his unique item known as the Iron Mask, which provides an extra 20% ward save and 10 extra armor, Forge Master Ironskull becomes quite the tanky legendary lord. You'll also notice new characters, such as the Sorcerer, which has been on screen for just a few moments. This introduces the Lore of Metal with a few extra new spells to the Skaven of Clan Ferrik. This gives you another Lore of Magic for you to play around with. The Lore of Metal itself is focused around armor-wide buffs for your own units and destroying enemy armor when used against them, so I think it's quite thematic to use that here with this Skaven clan as a unique Lore of Magic. Stat-wise by itself, it's not very impressive, but then again it's a spellcaster, so make sure to keep it well defended or else it will get ripped apart fairly easily. A mechanic introduced specifically for this clan is that of the Plundered Forge. As you can see, this is exactly what you can expect. It's a rehash of the mechanic introduced for the Tomb Kings originally, and then for the dwarfs after much requests. It might not be the most inspired mechanic, but it makes the most sense, as we are well enough aware that Clan Ferric likes to raid the dwarf forges as much as they can. The mechanic works exactly the same way as all the other races which have it, so there's no need to actually go into it. The only thing I found that might be a bug in regards to this mod was the fact that the Regiments of Renown, all of them, were unlocked from the very beginning, which can be a little game breaking at the beginning of a campaign. But that's literally the only issue I found with this mod. A new Lord character is also introduced, a Gracier type which is focused around the lore of metal. Once again, this is something added in just to fill out the roster and give it a more thematic reason to use. If you're going to be using Clan Ferric, you might as well also use characters which have the lore of metal. I'm going to pan over all the custom units added into this mod so you can check out their stats if you so wish. Please note that any generic reskins such as the Clan Ferric Clan Rats, the Clan Ferric Storm Vermin and so on are not included in this clip, as obviously they'll perform in the exact same way as expected. But as you can see, this faction overhaul focuses around heavily armored units and ranged units too. You'll be able to get access to heavily armored rat ogres, rat snatchers which act as a Skaven chariot, even storm vermin with great weapons, which do act as quite a powerful unit. Now it is important to note that the mod itself introduces a lot of unofficial units. It does make sense considering that Clan Ferric itself has like 7 lines of lore more or less. But those added in are fantastically done, especially the Ratsketeers, Handgunner Skaven, which probably have the cutest name throughout the whole roster. Playing as Clan Ferric and only using the units introduced for their mod is kinda like playing the Dwarves or the Empire, focus around more heavily armored troops and a lot of gunpowder weaponry. It was actually great to see through my testing that the gunpowder weaponry introduced to this mod actually fires gunpowder and not warpstone bullets. The custom units look great. Once again, the Ratsketeers are probably the biggest highlight for me here, but the gold vermin also look lovely, and I'm tempted to paint a unit of storm vermin just like that. If the player in question focuses around the Clan Ferric specific units, the mod itself provides a very unique playstyle for the Skaven. Very much like perverting the Imperial faith, steel and gunpowder phrasings. Perhaps the only real issue I have with this mod is the use of dwarf slaves. Yes, we are aware with the little lore that we have that the Skaven of Clan Ferric will make use of slaves, especially dwarf ones which they will capture during their many raids of the dwarf Karaks. However, I don't see the dwarfs themselves being used in a way for combat. It just doesn't make sense to me, as no self-respecting dwarf, or any dwarf for that matter, let's be honest, will be willing to fight alongside Skaven, even if they've been captured as slaves. Yes, while the mod itself isn't 100% lore friendly, everything else has been implemented in a lore friendly aspect, where every custom unit, barring the dwarf slaves, is extremely believable, so that's why I don't really like the dwarf slave unit myself. Negative aspects aside, the mod itself is fairly playable and very enjoyable. It is nice to have a different and unique playstyle with the Skaven, but also having options to be able to mix with the generic playstyle. The modder in question, Form, makes great Skaven mods. This is his second faction overhaul and it plays incredibly well, just like his Clan Vulcan one. If you'd like to give this mod a try, as always you can find it in the description below. And if you know of any mods which may be of interest, may I suggest commenting the mod in the comments below, or joining our official Great Book of Grudges Discord, where you will be able to get in contact with me at a much faster rate. But with that, my friends, we've come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like, or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. In the description section below are various links to different social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram and Discord. Also in the description section is an affiliate link with Element Games where you could buy loads of hobby-based products, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Making a purchase using that link and also our special code, which is also in the description, supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons. Your support means the world to us. It's amazing that people want to help a small channel like us grow and get to a higher level of content. A big thank you to Gibraltar LUSC, Ryan Bertsche, Andrew Prince and Okro for subscribing to us at our Fane level. You guys are super cool. And a big thank you to Edward Yule, VS Vasan, Aaron Whitman and Shaggy for subscribing to us at our King level. Honestly, we can't thank you all enough. And lastly, a big thank you to all of you for liking, sharing and commenting on these videos. Honestly, it's because of you guys that the channel's been growing at such a great pace lately, so we can't thank you all enough. But with that, my friends, thank you so much for watching once again, and we shall see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.